Hello and welcome everybody once again to the Greyhawk channel. This is the Paradox Report, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set in the free city of Greyhawk. Once again, let's go around the virtual tabletop to meet our spectacular cast here. I think let's, you know what? No one ever starts on the bottom row. So why don't we start with Wild today?
Yes, hello. Today I'm playing Creighton Marnoch. He is a Yuan Ti barbarian of the, what was it? He's a storm ancestry, I believe?
Herald of the Storm.
Yes, Herald of the Storm, yes. Very fun. He has 7 intelligence. It's great.
Gotta love the 7 intelligence. Gotta love the breaking of doors. Door boss last week, as it seems every campaign seems to end up with at least one door boss. Continuing on, Brian.
Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm going to be playing Owen Siskotel. He is a Shadar-kai wizard necromancer.
Wonderful. And I think you have had a lot to do so far in this campaign. Your skills have come very much in use. Heading upwards, Stella.
Hello. I am Stella Luna here on Twitch. I am playing Rue Waymark. She is a half-elf rogue. However, she's not your sneaky, thiefy rogue. She's more of the inquisitive, kind of personal people talker kind of person. And she is an ex-city guard member. She's a rookie amongst the Knight Brigade.
Wonderful. And you I think you came out from the worst with door boss, from the worst end with door boss.
Oh yes, mouthful of lightning in my face.
Yep. Yes. Lots of lightning.
I mean, we didn't exactly tell each other what signals meant, so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, total oversight on her part. I loved it.
The A team, everyone. And of course, V.
Hello, I'm V Fergie, and I'm playing the wonderful and charming Vestin Valgalia, who is a high elf sorcerer, so it should be really good. And I am an enabler of door smashing, so here we are.
Yes, and I do love the ears today, V. They are quite pointy. Wonderful. So, as I said, this is a Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in Greyhawk, about 3 years post the Greyhawk Wars. As I said last week, and I'll remember to mention every week, this is our own campaign. This will be a Greyhawk of our vision. We'll be using homebrew rules and rules of cool, so don't be a rules lawyer, because that's not how we're playing. Before we start, as always, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Of course, as always, Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers. You are the reason that the Greyhawk channel can continue to bring you amazing content with amazing people. This season, all of our games are powered by Roll20, the world's leading virtual tabletop. We are officially supported by Roll20 this season, and you can try it out for free at roll20.net. Heroic Maps, once again, is our official battle map sponsor. You can check out their library of more than 300 maps on Drive-Thru RPG. You can Tabletop Loot is also one of our sponsors. You can go to their website at tabletoploot.com, enter the word Greyhawk, one word, in the coupon code box and get 15% off your dice order. Our Patreon and Twitch supporters, or Twitch subscribers, can get coupon codes to Rue Inc. I don't think they're related to our rogue Rue. And Cantrip Candles in the private section of our Discord. and mentioning our Discord. If you haven't yet, check out the link to our Discord below, where you can interact with cast members and other Greyhawk channel crew. As with everything, as with all shows, we are using safety tools on this channel. Something I strongly recommend. It is the best way to make sure that everyone is comfortable and having fun at the table while allowing us to really push the boundaries of what tabletop RPGs can talk about and be. If you're looking for more information, check out at Kiana S on Twitter. Her pinned post should link you to all the information on that. Now, last week on the first episode, we got to meet our wonderful crew here and see a little bit into their lives, their morning routines, as we saw. They then made their way to their guild house, the Night Brigade, and were then handed out tasks and teams for the moment. This group was given the task of investigating screaming that was coming from the foreign quarter, specifically Cairn Court. Speaking of which, I totally should make sure I actually have the map of Greyhawk up. That would help. And there we go. They met a few interesting characters along the way, although the streets of the foreign quarter seemed very, very empty. However, there were a few interesting elderly folk about. After getting some information, they learned that no one had been seen from a town building, mansion-esque, from the edge of Cairn Court. They went to investigate, one team going in rather stealthily, the other one not so much, after breaking down 2 doors, running into a tree, and then nearly frying one of their own members who was trying to see what all the commotion was about. There they discovered the body of a seemingly ill-fated thief who had been touched by necromantic magics that seemingly killed him. They went upstairs where the thief seemed to have fallen from, and they found a room where a grisly manslaughter, a scene of a bit of horror awaited them, where 2 had been slain. One of them, a woman who was described as who they recognized as possibly the owner of this mansion, and the other mysterious man that they don't really know much about, except his arm had been horribly mutated and turned into this almost scale-esque arm with these long claws hand at the end of it. Creighton went off to explore some of the other rooms, and it was at this moment that 3 spectral forms rose from the ground, screaming out bloody murder. So, let us get into today's session. Old Man Seza had been old for as long as many of the residents of Cairn Court could remember. He'd shown up one day, set out a chair beneath a shady oak tree on the edge of the square, and had sat there every day since. If asked, he had 1,000 stories to tell. No one quite sure if any were true, but the children enjoyed them, and the locals saw no harm in the talented, if a bit ornery at times, storyteller. There was just one rule. No one ever touched Old Man Seza's walking stick. It'd been a quiet couple of days in Cairn Court, though. None of the children had come around for a story, and even most adults seemed to be avoiding the area as well. Seza had heard whispered rumors floating about, cultists, of ghosts, and of screaming at night. Bunch of scaredy cats in his mind, this lot was. Clearly, if the screaming was happening at night, it was perfectly safe to go out during the day. He'd answered the City Watch's questions when they came around. Not that it had done them any good. Bunch of incompetent louts that they were. By the looks of two of them, they probably didn't know one end of their sword from the other. Today, he listened, while pretending to sleep, as the latest group of investigators from the Night Brigade attempted to solve this mystery. It had a bit of fun with one of them when they tried to wake him with his own stick, but they seemed like a decent lot, if a bit strange. Hopefully they'd taken some of his stories to heart. Silver seemed to solve most problems. He listened as there was the sound of several breaking doors, a loud crack and crashing coming from inside. Heh. Rookies. We find you all inside in this study, this office of sorts, as three spectral white forms rise from the ground, crying out, distorted moans filling the room. Their forms are hazy, not quite. You can see through parts of them. There's almost an impression of a tortured face around where you would guess is the head, but they have just dark holes and for eyes and a mouth. I would like everyone roll initiative. Let us bring you over here so that we just have a general layout. Everyone goes to the journal tab of the Roll20 and you click your name and drag it over onto the map. We have name tokens for everyone so that you can have a general idea of where you are. We're not going to worry too much about... this isn't strictly for distance so much as just to give everyone a sense of direction, given that there are multiple enemies in this little encounter here. And why don't I give our viewers a little on here as I transition us over to the map screen. So, oh wow, that's some good initiative.
Starting the day off right.
Yeah, that's our first nat 20, I think, right? I wish I had that on a soundboard or something. Okay. So it looks like we have Owen, and then V, and then Rue, and sorry, not V, Vess, and then Rue, and then Creighton, who is off in another room, completely unaware of what's going on because you rolled a nat 1 on your perception check last week. All right. And with their initiative rolled, Owen, you're up first. Owen, you are currently sort of off in the lower corner here, because you were inspecting the body that had seemed to have like the weird deformed arm. I remember. No, were you inspecting that body or the woman's body?
If I remember correctly, I was inspecting the woman's body.
Okay, so you would be behind a desk where one of them has like risen up right next to you. I believe Rue and Vestin were over by the other deformed body down here. And Creighton, we'll just put you down here by the door with the assumption that you will eventually make your way over here, hopefully. So, Owen, what would you like to do?
Well, first off, Owen is fascinated by the spirit.
What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's actually never seen one before, and to have one pop up in his face is a little overwhelming. And I realize I have background noise.
It's okay, we can hear you just fine. Okay, so yeah, you are fascinated by this.
So while he's fascinated, he's also somewhat practical. So he will pull out some components and mumble a few things to himself and touch his own chest and cast Mage Armor.
Okay. So your AC goes up a bit. What does your mage armor look like as you cast it?
It's almost like he's wearing a piece of glass chest piece. It's kind of greenish and translucent, and it kind of adheres to the contours of his body.
Wonderful. All right, the spectral armor appears across your body. Would you like to do anything else with your bonus action? Yeah. Or your movement?
No, not at this time.
Right. Cool. Moving on. Bess. So there is one that you can see immediately to your right at the moment that has risen up sort of along this wall through the ground.
Okay. I would like to make use of my circlet of blasting.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to roll that.
Circlet of blasting. Let me look up the item real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. While wearing the circlet, you can use your action to cast the Scorching Ray spell with it. When you make the spell's attack, you do so with an attack bonus of +5. The circlet can't be used again this way until the next dawn. Okay, so basically you would roll a 1d20 and add 5 to it.
Okay, so roll and then
Yeah, so slash roll 1d20 +5.
+5. Okay.
21. That is most definitely gonna hit it. That'll hit most things. So Scorching Ray is let's see. You create 3 rays of fire, so it's a pretty strong spell. It is a 2nd level evocation spell, and hurl them at targets within range. You can hurl them at one target or several. Okay, so you have to make. Okay, so yeah, so you do have to make 3 spell attacks for each one for each ray. You can so let's roll damage for the first one just to see where it takes you. So damage is 2d6 fire damage for each ray.
6. Okay.
Yep. So roll that. 7 points of fire damage.
8.
So don't roll the other ones quite yet because you still have to roll to hit with the other 2 rays. So roll. So if you're in the chat box there and you hit the up button twice, it'll take you to the second to last roll you did, which should be the 1d20 +5, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and then just roll that again. Yeah.
Okay.
18 is also gonna hit. Roll your 2d6 again. 9. Okay, 15 points of damage. Roll your last attack roll.
Okay. 7.
7. Yeah. No, that one's not gonna hit. As your bolt, like you get 2 good slings in, and then it sort of grows wise to what you're doing as it's forming, and a sort of almost like a hole appears in it as your bolt just goes through and sails through and hits the back wall and leaves a little bit of a burnt splash across it. You still have your bonus action and a movement.
I'm not really sure what I can do as a bonus action.
Do you have any cantrips that are bonus actions that you could use?
No, I do not.
Let me check your character.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I don't think you have any bonus actions other than using your font of magic, I believe, to spend or gain more sorcery points, which to earn spell slots. But you haven't used the spell slot yet, so
okay.
So that's
I'll just end my turn there, or be able to move to a better vantage point.
Okay.
So I can both of them.
All right. Yeah, you can just back up a bit there, and and you can see more of them and gain you can at this point take in the other 2 spectral forms that have risen. You should be able to just click and drag your thing over, and yeah. It's up to Rue.
Rue would probably stumble back a bit. She would look very uncertain of what's going on. Upon seeing Vestin attack this specter, she's like, "Oh, I guess we're fighting then." And I'm not sure what this would require, but she's going to try to do the same whistle that she did earlier.
Okay, and what are you trying to do with this whistle?
Maybe get Creighton's attention.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'll say that whistling is a free action that'll have an effect on Creighton's turn.
Okay.
So, because, speaking is a free action, so I don't see why whistling couldn't be.
Okay.
So we'll call that a free action.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So she's going to whistle really loudly, and then for her bonus action, she's going to use Insightful Fighting.
Okay.
This is a Inquisitive Rogue ability that I can use a bonus action and make a Wisdom Insight check against a creature that I see that is incapacitated. Basically, I can get sneak attack on them without needing advantage.
Okay, that's nice.
So Insight.
Okay. But, oh my gosh! Wow, I think that's like your second or third natural one.
So it's contested by their deception.
Okay. Sure. Deception is charisma, right? Okay. Oh man, you're lucky this is a skill check. They rolled a 7. So Ty goes to the initiator of the roll.
Oh my god.
So even though you rolled a nat 1, it's a skill check, which means that it's not technically an automatic failure.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So Rue kind of she whistles, she's leaning back, she's looking at what's going on, and she's kind of, her eyes narrow, and she focuses in on this specter, and she'll move up here and try to hit it with her short sword.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah. Attack.
Since she did succeed that, she gets sneak attack.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is this game?
What is this roll 20? This roll 20 just does not like you.
Possessed.
Okay, so what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to message Eric Vulgaris on Twitter and have him uncurse you. It's what I've had to do several times in my life.
Oh my gosh.
So, you go, and is this Stella's first time seeing like a spectral, like a undead spectral creature?
Probably. I think
Yeah.
Rue's career as a guard has mostly just been drunks and the common people.
So this is your first time seeing a spectral, and so just like you're just not quite like, where do you stab something that doesn't really seem solid, and then as you go to stab, it sort of like moves and wisps around your sword, and for intents and purposes, your sword is it stabs into the wood behind it, and you're gonna have to pull that out. So yeah, woof. Rolls are not in your favor today. Creighton, because I rolled terrible initiative.
So, did I hear the screams as Creighton?
You can
Another
roll me a
room.
perception check at advantage because Stella took some time to whistle for you.
I know it's not really used for this, but I do have danger sense.
Oh, okay.
Says let's just pop it in chat.
Yeah. Second level, you gain the uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't. I mean, yeah, I mean, story-wise, I can definitely see this applying to just, like, you just having that, like, lightning across your, like, mind moment when you just realize that something's not right.
Mhm.
And then you
So
hear the
per-
whistle. For sure. Wow, there's where all your nat 20s are going. You definitely hear this whistle, and you are maybe about, I'll say, 20 feet down the hallway in the
Right.
other room. So,
So Creighton's like, I hear screams, but Rue whistle, and whistle mean not danger. So
would you like to roll a wisdom Would you like to roll a survival check because of your danger sense to see if you get past that?
sure.
Okay, the whistle is you're not sure if that means danger or not. You were told that it didn't necessarily mean danger, but there's something like hinky going on. Like you're just that voice in the back of your head tells you something's wrong.
It's like, but maybe something wrong. So he's just going to walk over, with his battle axe out and see what's going on. So I can maybe get 10 feet into the room.
Yeah, so you can get about 10 feet into the room. So from the door, and as you walk in, you can see 3 spectral forms, one to your right, one to your left where Vess and Rue are, and one straight in front of you across a desk where Owen is.
Like, right, and they definitely look off spectrally, and so
Oh, yeah.
like, that's definitely danger. Go into a rage.
Okay.
And let's see. I'll target the one that's furthest away from all, the one that's closest to me.
Okay, yeah, you can get up to it with your movement.
Yeah. So here we go. It's a DC 12 con save.
Okay.
And they would only do 1 lightning damage. So.
Let me roll that. That is. Jesus. I'm nothing if not consistent. So your lightning streaks out and just like you again, the smell of burnt ozone, the smell of burning oxygen air fills the room as it bzz, and you can see sort of a spot on their sort of their pale spectral visage go dark for a moment as you seem to have hit them with it.
Right. So I think I have enough movement, just enough movement to get right next to it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah. There we go.
There you go.
And I think that the Stormer is just a part of going into a rage, so he's gonna take a swing with his battle axe.
Right.
I think he's only doing it one-handedly. She's got the shield on. 2, 10.
Yeah. No, you swing out, but this thing's been sort of made aware that you are a danger, so it manages to just sort of like not quite like doesn't move like a person would, where they would like dodge like by leaning back, but it just sort of seems to shift back, suddenly pulling sort of its essence with it as it moves out of the way of your attack. And I think that's it for your turn.
Yes.
All right. Finally, my specters get to go. So, Owen, the one up on you is going to... It reaches out for you, and you see the tips of its pale hands go dark as just these tendrils of dark energy reach for you. As it tries to hit you. I'm gonna guess a 12 doesn't hit your armor class with mage armor on, because mage armor starts at 13, right?
Yeah, mage armor gives me AC of 13, so no, it does not hit.
So these tendrils, these dark tendrils, reach out, and then they hit your mage armor and sort of splash out across it. And you think, ooh, that probably wouldn't have been good. But you seem to have been protected from it. This one is gonna move up onto Vestin because you're the one who did a bunch of damage to it. And Rue seems to be like fighting with her sword stuck in the wall. And is going to do the same thing as they sort of reach out for you, dark tendrils stretching out from its fingers. Does an 11 hit your AC, Vestin? You're muted, by the way. On Zoom.
Okay, it just does.
It just does. Okay. Ooh. Thank one of the Greyhawk gods. Oof. Okay. You feel this dark energy sort of like hit your chest, and your chest goes cold as these tendrils dig into you, and you begin to sort of get that black veined look spreading out across your chest. You take 16 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I hope you're more hardy than I am.
So that's just Constitution, correct?
Uh-huh. Well, Constitution saving throw. Is your Constitution save any different as a sorcerer? Sorry, that was your save. Oof. Okay. Your maximum hit point is also reduced by 16 HP. As you just feel this thing sucking the life out of you where it has like touched you with these dark tendrils. I'm assuming you're still up?
I'm still
Because you're a beefy sorcerer. Because you rolled great on your on your dice rolls for your HP, which I'm a little salty about. I think you almost rolled max HP on all of them. Okay. And the last one is going to reach out for you, Creighton, with the same attack. Does a 19 hit you, Creighton?
Yes, 19 hits me. This made a con save as well.
You do have to make a con save. Oh boy, wish I had this roll for your sorcerer. First, you take 5 points of necrotic damage, Creighton. I rolled significantly worse on that one, and you do pass. You feel this life-sucking sort of force start to dig into you, where these tendrils attack you, and where you feel sort of the coldness. But you sort of grunt and grit, and sort of like throw off the sensation. Did not feel good. Vestin, you definitely feel a little sick from this, like you just feel less healthy. It's not a great feeling. But that brings us back to the top with Owen.
Owen is, again, he's intrigued and is going to ask a question of the spirit in front of him until it attacks him. And then he casts Shadow Blade.
Okay.
And this fairly common-looking spectral short sword appears in his right hand, and he will attack the spirit in front of him with it.
Okay. What question did you ask the spirit before it tried to attack you?
He was going to ask him what it was like to die.
And I mean, you probably get that like out, but all you get is sort of this.
So no answer from him then.
Yeah, doesn't seem to really be able to communicate like that. All right,
And I
and
apparently rolled a 13.
13 is gonna hit. Roll your damage.
All right. Damage is, if I'm not mistaken, 2d8.
Wow. you stab into it with this shadowy blade, and just its essence seems like when you pull back, it's almost as if you're as if you are wrenching part of its essence away from itself. Sort of its spectral, some of its spectral form like pulls away from it with your blade, almost as if like you were pulling out its blood, and just floats away and wisps away. And it didn't. What type of damage does that do?
Psychic.
Psychic. Yeah, it did not like that. It's still floating in front of you, but it does seem a little less substantial now.
All right. Yeah, that's my bonus, my action, and I'm not moving because I don't want to get hit.
Okay. Okay. That brings us to Vestin. You have just been hit with this necrotic, life-draining spell attack.
Would my cure wounds help or no?
Not for the mass. Not because you had your max HP reduced as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and cast my Scorching Ray that I have equipped.
Okay, so you also have Scorching Ray as a spell. Okay, so
get out my components and do the thing.
All right.
I believe I just click on it.
Yeah, you should just be able to click on it.
And level 2.
Oh, okay. So that one puts out the spell card.
Okay.
But for you, it's going to be that 1d20 plus 5 again. So it's the same thing as what your other Scorching Ray was. We can adjust that later so that your page will roll it for you. But just roll 1d20 plus 5.
Okay.
24 is going to hit. Roll your damage.
Let me go up again. There we go.
9. I imagine Vestin's probably not too happy with just happened, and so you just sort of and it's just like this fire almost seems to consume it as it hits its spectral form, and you see sort of the magic essence of the fire sort of spread out from the central form across its pale ethereal form, burning it away, and you have slain this one.
Yes.
So that one is dead, and you still have 2 more bolts, which you could throw at one of the other ones.
To throw the one by Owen, and then the other one that, of course, I'll just do both of them.
Okay. So roll the first one,
Okay.
and this is the one by Owen.
And I'm guessing it'll be the plus 5 again.
Yeah, the 1d20 plus 5.
Okay.
Oh my god.
5.
Okay, so you're gonna roll me 4d6 damage this time because you crit.
Okay. So 4d6.
Yeah, 4d6.
Okay.
You have now, again, the same thing happens as this fiery bolt just hits it, and its spectral form is burned away again, as you have also now slain this one. Now the only one remaining is the one by Creighton.
It's like, who are you gonna call? Festin. 10.
10. This one goes wide, and in fact, you smell a bit of burning air go past your face, Creighton, as it just barely misses the side of your head, and then sort of bursts harmlessly across, leaving sort of a scorch mark across the far wall.
Careful.
Oh, so sorry. Got a little carried away there. I don't believe I can cast anything else like Armor of Agathi.
No, that's so you can. The only other thing you would be able to cast is a cantrip that is a bonus act.
Okay, and I forgot, I believe, to do my cantrips, even though.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna want to look at adding those. And I look at your spell sheet.
Alrighty, it's no problem. I guess I'll move more up by the desk and then just hold there.
All right. Rue, the specter that was right in front of you seemed to move off, and you sort of hear the grunt or whatever sound that Vestin would make when attacked. Your sword is stuck in the wall behind. It's not like and it's something you can just easily pull out. But I imagine you turn back to the room and you don't see that specter anymore. Just the one over by where Creighton has barged into the room.
Kind of imagine Rue. As soon as she gets the sword stuck, like she's putting her foot up against the wall and trying to pull it free. And she's like, "Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Rue, get yourself together." And she yanks it out and she wheels around, ready to strike, and it's already gone. She just kind of looks a little confused, and then she sees the one over by Creighton, and she's going to
You can
run
get up on it.
She's gonna run up, and as she's running up, she'll draw her other short sword. So she has 2.
Okay.
And she will attempt to attack it with her short swords.
Roll and I believe the other one, so the first one's your action and the other one's your offhand, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So roll your first attack. 16 is definitely gonna hit it. Roll your damage. You do get sneak attack damage. So as you slice through it, and you can feel that you hit it, but it's incorporeal, so there's no bite to the attack. You're used to perhaps using your weapons on more physical forms. So as it goes through, you think that, because your short sword isn't a magical weapon, is it?
No, it's not.
So you don't think that it quite did as much damage as you would hope.
Okay. So Rue just kind of like slices the air, and she's like, "Am I doing this right? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing?" But she will still swipe with her offhand.
21 is also going to hit.
Just fine.
As you do a little bit more damage and you try to like stab into it, and there's no satisfactory like what's the word?
Connection.
There's no satisfactory connection. There's no as you sort of stab into it, you do a little damage, but it doesn't feel like as much as it should be doing.
She looks over at Creighton. Am I doing this right?
Speaking of Creighton, it is your turn.
It's like, you just attack. And he's going to, as a bonus action, he can activate the lightning again. And it's a DC 12 dex save. I did that wrong. Yeah. Wait, why does that say DC 11 now?
It wouldn't have mattered last time, but okay. This time it seems to manage it. It seems prepared for it this time, and it sort of swirls around the lightning that cracks out from your body, and manages to avoid it. Seems prepared for that this time.
Okay. Dex saving throw. Okay. Sort of avoids it, and then he'll just do another attack.
17 is going to hit. 13 total damage. So 13. You, much like Rue, there's no satisfactory catch in it. You just sort of swing right through it. And you can see the swirl of its form follow through after your axe, and you hit it, but again, you don't think you did quite as much damage as it should have, as that would do 6 damage.
It's like, that's different. It don't feel the same.
All right. Anything else, Creighton?
No, that's where you end the turn.
Okay. All right. So, as the last surviving specter, who wants nothing more than to end the life that it sees before it, it is going to try and attack you again, Creighton, as its dark necrotic tendrils reach out from its hand. Does a 10 hit you?
No.
And you take it on your shield this time, and you can see that when you turn, you can look at your shield. You can see that Is your shield metal or wood?
Metal, I believe.
Metal. Where it hits. So you can see that there's just a faint sheen of like rust where it hit. Nothing like too serious, but you can see that whatever this attack is, it seems to take sort of the life, the essence of stuff out of it when it does. That ends its sorry turn. Owen, the one that in front of you has just been burnt, blasted to nothingness.
He'll turn to his companions and go, "Thank you," and then turn toward the specter that's messing with Crichton and kind of squint a little with one eye and throw his spectral weapon at it from here.
Okay. So you can make a ranged attack with the
Yeah, it's a thrown weapon also.
That's a nice spell. Oh. All right, make that ranged attack. 17 is gonna hit.
Right. I presume this. Oop, that's a different spell. Never mind. 2d8.
Ten
Same roll.
damage. So your spectral weapon goes right through it, and once again you see it draw away the essence of this specter. And it's like your weapon goes into the back wall and sticks there, and almost seems to suck the rest of the like it leaves this big gaping hole through the specter as like its form begins to dissipate and fade away, as you have also slain this one.
Nice.
Bringing us to the end. Combat.
And about 45 seconds later, the sword in the wall will disappear.
So, you have this scene here that's been slightly disturbed by this combat. Vestin, you're still not feeling great. You think whatever it did to you, that it took some of your vitality with it, your health, your, other than that, you do have the rest of this room. There is the body in sort of the far corner. The body in the far corner, the sort of the mutated armed man in the corner, and then the woman's body in the chair behind the desk, as well as sort of a fine, almost ash-like powder on the ground in certain places.
Well, those didn't look like werewolves.
No, they did not. Vestin will lean on his staff a little bit. They most certainly did not. Sorry if I singed your any hair on you.
Hair? I have no hair.
Oh, indeed. Well, if you had, apologies would be needed. Never mind.
Oh, go ahead.
Vestin, are you feeling all right? I was right next to you when I saw it hit you.
I believe I'll need to see the people in the church sooner rather than later. Let's get on with this if we can. Let's see what we can find out here. Are you okay? Yourself?
Oh, I'm fine. Here, if you need help walking around, I can help you. Rue will just kind of put her weapons away and offer to help shuffle Vestin around if Vestin does not feel well.
Thank you. I got my staff, but any help would be appreciated. Thank you very much, Rue. He tries to walk as much as he can, but then kind of allows her to help him as much as possible.
Owen, can you make me an Arcana check, please?
Sure.
16. So, you've, in your studies, to learn your powers, you have certainly most likely encountered descriptions of undead beings. There are those that are corporeal, typically, things, bodies raised from the dead, zombies and
I'm
revenants
still
and
learning
whatnot.
that one.
Yeah, you're still learning how to do that, but you've definitely read about all these things. And then there are the ones that are the incorporeal undead, ghosts and banshees and specters, which these are what you're pretty sure they are. These are specters. And specters are a little more unusual compared to a typical ghost. A ghost will appear when someone feels that has strong attachments left on the material plane that they feel is unfinished, business they feel is unfinished. Specters are a twisted form of that. They have been forced by some form of dark magic to remain on this plane of existence. They are twisted and tortured almost as this process happens. They usually it's not pleasant, and thus they are typically very violent towards the living. And so if these were ghosts, could have happened of natural means, but specters implies something more. It's either someone else with necromantic powers is doing something, or you have a wraith.
Fantastic. So Owen he'll move up to the rest of the group, and he's visibly excited. He'll go up to them and go, "You saw those, right? I'm not crazy. Did everybody see the specters? They tend to indicate something violent happened here."
They touched me, so not only did I see them, but I felt one, so...
Oh, you're going to want to have that looked at. We may have a wraith problem. That, or we have someone who is similarly practiced as I am in the arcane revival of the dead.
So, a wraith is making drugs to make specters?
Well, I love your enthusiasm. I'm not sure where you got the drug idea from, but I'm going to let you run with it.
Yes. We must find these drugs and stop the specters.
Oh, I noticed some powder on the floor. I think it was Rue that found it last, or she was involved in finding some last time.
Yeah, you found sort of like this almost ash-like powder on the ground. Sort of.
She kind of gestures to it and she says, "Could those mean anything?"
Maybe it's the drugs. We should collect it for comparison. Test it on someone wanted.
I have a pair of gloves and a vial, so we can collect it.
All right. So you read.
Would this be considered would this be something I could use the identify spell on? It's not necessarily an object.
I mean, you can always use the spell. You're just not sure if it's magical or not at the moment.
Right.
So you could try.
I think I would like to.
Okay.
So Owen will be rummaging his bag a bit, and he'll pull out a pearl about this big,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll draw like a circle on the floor with some chalk he has, and he'll look at Rue and go, "Can you put some of that ash in the center of the circle, please?"
Yeah, of course. And I shall do as she indicated.
Okay. This is a ritual, so I think it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Or
if
is it
you so it's 1 minute if you're using a spell slot for it, 10 minutes if you're casting it as a ritual.
I'll cast it as a ritual.
So
So yeah, it's going to be a few minutes while I identify this, but hopefully I can learn something. And he sits there and puts the pearl down and focuses a bit, and focuses for the next 10 minutes.
Can Creighton start rummaging through the room while the ritual's going on?
okay, yeah, you can. If you're making a good sort of rummage, give me an investigation check. And anyone who would like to
Oh no.
anyone who would like to rummage through the room as well, see what they can find, can do so as well.
I don't think you found anything.
So Creighton, you are dead set on finding drugs. Like you are single-mindedly like focusing on drugs. I must find drugs. And also werewolves. You're still looking for the werewolves, I think. And Rue, this this is one of your first real jaunts out into sort of the more supernatural jobs that you've received. One of the more weird and arcane jobs you've received since recently joining the Night Brigade. So your nerves are probably a little bit on end, especially given sort of the screaming and the horrific nature of these, and perhaps what you've been told by Owen regarding their nature. So neither of you really find much more than what's obvious is that there are it's easy enough to find like ledgers and books. It appears that whoever this person was, this lady, I don't think you ever got her actual name because I think he called her Jezebel. He was like, yeah, I think he just called her Jezebel. Seemed to be an importer of herbs, or like botanicals. There we go, botanicals. Botanical goods, as far as you can tell based on looking at the ledgers, things that go into medicines, and yeah. Vess, you look around and you're sort of observing very carefully, picking things through in a very careful manner that you sort of have. And you find sort of in the desk in one of the drawers that there's a hollow sound at the bottom of this drawer. Not the sort of solid sound that the bottom of something would make, but as if there were an empty space beneath whatever it was.
Well, this sounds rather hollow. I think I found something. And then Vestin would go and see what he can find in that. Is it easy just to get open, or would I need help?
There is, after a quick moment's search, there is a tiny little keyhole set into it. Seems one would need a key to turn in it and then pull up.
You may want to search the woman's body for keys if you found something that requires one.
True.
And search the body for drugs.
Yes, of course. For drugs and a key.
We can
He
use
was into
your
herbs.
botanicals. Thank you very much. Botanicals. We'll use your same investigation check for the body as well.
Okay.
If you go to search it.
Alrighty.
Does Vest search the body? This body has basically almost been, kind of
Vest-
disemboweled, almost,
He would,
with these
he would
three
go-
long.
he would make sure that the gloves are on, and when he searches it, then right after searching it, it kind of puts them in like a little brings out another bag and puts them in. For the needy, and then puts on the extra pair of gloves afterwards because he's always wearing gloves.
So you pick through the body and sort of through the very elegant. She's wearing sort of a very elegant dress with a robe, sort of not like pulled over it, and it's hard to like really gain any more insight into her as a person, given that her body has become worse for the wear after being dead for a couple days without any treatment, and the fact that it's been pretty warm and humid recently. But you find there is a pair of very, very like fancy gold rimmed with sort of these almost pinkish crystal glasses set upon her head, sort of askew, sort of connected to a chain dropping down and around her neck, and like a thin gold chain. And then there's also around her neck, there's the signs of a chain that has been broken, seemingly torn by whatever slashed her across the torso. But you manage to find, like, sort of in a fold of her dress, of her rumpled dress, that there is a little tiny key. Little tiny, like, brass key.
He'll take it. Well, we have the key, or I suppose. She has some neat glasses. Perhaps, Owen, you could make some sense out of them. But he'll make his way over to the drawer to unlock it,
Mhm.
and ask Rue, do you think it was wise if you were to check to see if there's anything that's could harm us further, or particularly me and further?
Here, yeah. I can do it for you. She'll take the
thank
key, and she'll go over to the drawer and she'll check it out. I'm sure she's investigated many things, not with a criminal intention, but yes, your door is definitely locked. I know what a locked door and a locked drawer looks like.
Mhm.
And she'll just try to see if it's trapped or.
Make me another investigation check. 21. Much better. It is definitely trapped. Should it have been forced open, or the proper key not put in place, it would release something. You're not sure what, because you can't see underneath it, but there is some sort of like a wire sort of running from that you can sort of tell would have tripped something, but you think you're safe with using the key.
Oh, Festin, good call. Look. If you squint right here, you can tell there's a wire. There's some sort of mechanism. I think this will be. And then she'll push it. Click. Try to open it.
You click, and you open it, and you are able to pull out the bottom with the key inserted, and you pull it out, and you can see that there is a wire attached to some sort of bag, little sack inside, that you think would have been ripped open should you have tried to pull it out without inserting the key. And inside you find a little, like not a little, like a traditional size sort of like journal, in there, sort of a leather bound journal with a a cover that's wrapped around with tied shut with strings, and various papers, and a seal, a seal ring in it.
Like a signet ring?
A signet ring. There we go.
Does it have a specific design on it?
Yes, it has. It is sort of a almost like a plus sign, but the arms are distorted and wiggly sort of all along it.
She'll pick it up and hold it out and say, "Oh, Vestin, look at this." Give the ring to Vestin.
He'll take it and study it. Interesting.
You can make me a history check, Vestin, if you are intently looking at it.
Okay.
Figure out what it is. 13. Not ringing any bells. You're not quite familiar with it. You know what it's not. You know that it's not any symbol of any of the temples, for sure. You're pretty sure it's not any of the noble houses of Greyhawk, who are the ones who are typically to use the seal. So out of those, you know it's definitely not a temple and not a noble.
Vestin will relay that to Rue and the others. I know it's not this, but I'm not quite sure what it is, though. I know it's a ring with a funny-looking disfigured plus arms. Out of character, how is Vestin doing with the wound?
So you're not really wounded. You've just kind of got this sort of, like if you were to like peer underneath your robes, you can see sort of like these black veins that have spread from your wound and a little bit of like discolored skin there, but it's not sinking any deeper.
Okay.
You're still not feeling great because it did take 16 HP from you of your max
Right.
HP, which is, so it's like, it's just like, it feels like it's draining you a little bit, but not in a concerned way at the moment.
Okay.
Would the signet be similar to any, like, I don't know if they have any ruffians or gang signs that they would have had in the port?
Why don't you make me a history check as well with your 7 intelligence?
It's just -2.
17. No, it's not any rogue or it's not any ruffian groups or rogue groups from the docks or anything. You're pretty sure. Yeah, it's not like you know enough about the different groups. That was a really good roll. You almost had a nat 20. But you definitely know it's not any of the rogue groups or the gangs of the lower city that you're familiar with. But you're fairly certain that it's not anyone who operates out of the wharf either. None of the efficient merchant houses use it, and none of the ruffian groups that you know of use it either. But you still can't put your finger on what it is.
It's not related to the docks. Is the drawer still open?
The door is still open.
But I see you found the drugs. And you'll try and take the bag.
Yeah, you can pull out the bag now that it's sort of been disarmed. And you do with the bag.
Trying to think I'm gonna do an intelligence check just to see how stupid he is.
You lick it? Do you lick the bag?
11.
Rue will kind of raise up a hand. She's like,
He'll open up and just take a sniff, but then close it back up.
You take a sniff. Can you make me a Constitution save, please?
Sure. It's not a poison, is it?
It's probably caustic.
Just make your Constitution save first. 19. It's not poison. You know that. You know poison. This is some powdered form of drug that had you sniffed any, like, had you gotten any more of it into you, and had you had like a slightly lower constitution, you're a hardy person. It would take a lot to really get you high. That it would probably do have some sort of ill effect on whoever like got a real good draft of this.
Right. Yes, I think this is the werewolf drugs.
Stella, are you looking at the journal? Rue, are you looking at the journal and papers that you pulled out?
Yeah, so Rue just kind of, okay. And she'll just open the journal and start flipping through it.
It is nothing coherent. It is all written in common, but letters and whatnot are not in arranged words of common in any form. So you cannot read it straight out. And same with all the papers that you look at.
Friends, whoever wrote these things must have been crazy. Look, it doesn't make any sense. She'll just show everybody.
Those on drugs rarely make sense.
Would anyone anyone who's looking at this for the moment can make me intelligence checks if they would like. This is just going to be a straight intelligence.
I'll get in on that.
So you're still casting Identify at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then
and
I
we're
guess I
about to
won't.
get back to you.
So an intelligence saving throw, correct?
No, just intelligence. Just flat intelligence, sorry.
Okay.
Which is probably the same for you, right? It's just the 1?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
so 10. We'll take the 10. Rue, you are... Sorry, the Streamlabs are very startling. Rue, you are familiar with... You have encountered stuff like this before, especially during your training. This is perhaps some sort of written... This is written in some sort of code. You would need the key to understand it, or you would need to spend, a lot of time trying to crack the code. But unless you either have the key or you spend who knows how long it might take you to crack it, you wouldn't be able to understand it without it.
Would knowing thieves can't be related to this in any way?
No.
Okay.
This is not a code like Thieves' Cant is. It's not sort of like images and pictographs that Thieves' Cant use to sort of mark safe or dangerous or hot zone or whatnot. This is using the common language, is using the common runes, but they have been rearranged in a way that you're guessing that certain letters relate to either other letters, and would require like detailed going, like figuring out what the key is and then going through and translating each letter.
Oh, I see now. It's written in some kind of code. You see how the word repeats right here? Yes. We'll need a key to decipher it, or someone will have to spend some time to try to crack the code.
Do you think that you're up for it?
I could try, but it's probably gonna take some time.
Owen.
Or you can.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry. What was it again? It was a puzzle you found, or
Yeah, it's like
It's in a
it's writ-
book?
The books and the book and the papers are all
Written.
code.
They're
in
encoded.
common.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
encoded.
Okay. Now I wouldn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, this is where having that 7 intelligence character, but you personally knowing probably how to start going about cracking a code is just like, ugh.
We could try to find a key. It won't be an actual key. It'll be probably a written legend sort of thing.
If it's invisible code, you can burn the papers.
We can try that after I have a go. How's that sound?
Yes.
A cat suddenly jumps into the room. No. And Creighton is distracted by it. Owen.
Creighton is a crow. Creighton purrs. Yes, sorry.
Owen, you have spent the last 10 minutes while they've been doing this, to identify this powder. And while the powder itself isn't inherently a magical thing, how it came about is magical. You get traces of some form of magic off of it. It is obviously the burnt remains of something, but so burnt that it just left this powder as opposed to physical actual ashes. And you get this, you know based on your identify spell that this is demonic. Whatever did this to it was demonic in nature.
So after sitting more or less cross-legged, staring at the floor for the last 10 minutes, Owen will stand up and he goes, "Well, the ash or whatever this is not magical in of itself, but I get the impression that whatever did this left like a magical signature. Whatever did this was magical, and seems demonic in nature." Aside from that, it's just a pile of ash.
Do you think it has something to do with the ghosts that we saw?
It's probably a safe bet. I mean, if a demon came here and killed these people, I think it would probably generate a specter of some form. We should be on our guard.
One thing that I just would like to remind Vestin, because it's something that I remember you saying that Vestin took note of last week. You do remember, because you took a quick look around the grounds and you saw that there was a garden and then sort of a greenhouse and then a sort of dilapidated shack built against the wall of the next building behind it. That sort of encompassed the garden area of this house. Just something to remember from that Vestin took.
We could always try to see. There is a garden out back, so perhaps the things are out there that we need. And perhaps the cipher code. I mean, it might be a funny place, but botanicals. Because Vestin heard the botanicals correct as well.
Yeah, you heard about botanicals. Yeah.
Yeah. So the best place to find it would be the greenhouse in the garden. So
Can I search the other body to see if there's anything of import?
Which body?
The not the woman sitting at the desk, the other one, the one that
Okay.
was on the floor.
Roll me. You can you based on, because you saw this with the one downstairs, you know that this body was probably killed by necrotic magic because you can see the black veins throughout it. But this one wasn't desiccated in the way that the body downstairs was. So it was clearly killed by a different kind of necrotic magic, unless it just was interrupted before it could desiccate it. But you don't think
Okay.
that his death was from whatever did that to the thief downstairs.
Okay.
You.
What about pockets and?
Yeah. So make me an investigation check. Also, you were handed the very expensive glasses that Vestin found off of the woman's body.
Do they look anything like the spectacles that I have? What are they called? Oh, eyes of minute seeing. They're basically crystalline lenses that are in a frame that allow me to see minute details.
I get the. Do you have like those little like optician things that like fold down in front of it so that it gets like a better view?
Yeah, if that's the way you want to look at it, yeah.
It's however that you want them to look. But no, these don't look quite like that. They've got these rose tinted crystal glasses. So since you were handed that earlier, make an Arcana check for me first. If you recognize them. 15. You don't know exactly what they are, but you know that anyone who has glasses are not cheap, especially like well-made ones that are like gold chain, gold wireframe, and these interesting rose-colored glasses. And you've heard about a number of in fact, you own one yourself, of glasses-based magical items, and it's a very strong possibility that this might be one. And then let's get that investigation check for the body.
Okay.
10. So, on this body, you find. I mean, it's easy enough to find that there is a small tattoo behind one of the ears of a swallow. Just a little one. Right behind its ear. It'd be really hard to see because it is sort of in a dark ink. Unless you were looking, and the hair would most likely be close to covering it. Unless you were looking right at it. The body itself doesn't have much on it other than some plain, simple servant's clothing. It appears. And then there's the right arm that is just mutilated and just this weird, almost scale-esque, kind of like a chitinous scale across it. This sort of this large clawed hand, way oversized for his body. For that, if you want to take a look at the arm a little closer, would be another Arcana check.
Okay. Sorry, I was just taking notes. I don't remember from last time. This body, human, other?
Human.
Okay. Yeah, I would actually like to take a look at that arm.
Both bodies in this room are human.
You said Arcana, correct?
Mm-hmm. 11. I'm actually going to give you advantage. I'll let you have that advantage on this because you had that good roll on the stuff earlier. There's a reason. Because you are certain that whatever this is, it is also demonic in nature. Because you were keyed into the idea of like there potentially being demonic magic at work here. That's why you would have advantage on this. You are fairly certain that this is demonic in nature. That this is... He was either cursed by something demonic or he made a deal with something demonic. And that is why he has this form. And based on that, you're also certain that he is the reason, he is what disemboweled the woman in this room.
So he's the cause of her death. Okay. So I didn't really find anything on this other person. But I'm definitely getting a sense that the arm, the mutated arm, is definitely demonic in nature, and probably the cause of the death of the woman. Though I don't have a motive as to why they would be fighting each other.
Perhaps he wanted her book.
It's a fair guess.
Or the drugs made them crazy.
There's also that.
That as well.
I think I've gotten most from this room that I can. Is there anything else we need to look at?
Creighton, did you find anything in the other room?
You found like a guest room. You found like a guest bedroom and a bathroom.
All right. Just a bathroom. Wait, there wasn't anything in the bathroom, right?
No, it was just like a really nice wrought iron bath tub. Very expensive looking. And some scented oils, some scented soaps. Also very expensive looking. And it's at this point that you all hear a loud banging at the front door from down the stairs. All right, City Watch, we're here about a disturbance. And that's where we're going to take our quick break.
Nice.
So, before we head out on our quick break, just like to remind everyone, thanks for joining us. Your viewership is great. We love it. If you can support us via Twitch or Patreon, that's great. We get to bring you more content like this every season, and you can find all the details for that down below. Anyways, we're gonna go take a quick break, get some water, get up, stretch, take care of yourselves. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Hope everyone had a good quick break. You were able to get some water, get a stretch, stand up, walk around. So, you all are suddenly brought to notice of this loud banging door. And Rue, his voice is familiar. Someone you know from the City Watch.
Oh no. Is it a young male voice?
Yeah, it's like a young male voice, a little
Oh,
stern,
no.
because he's got his City Watch voice on, like, because he's investigating a disturbance, but familiar.
Rue immediately turns cherry red and she just shrinks on herself. She seems to recognize this voice immediately. And she is going to just instinctively hide herself behind a door. Yep, that's what she does.
You okay there, Rue?
Yes. Maybe one of you should go address the person at the door.
Bang, bang, bang. City
Maybe not
Watch
me.
coming in.
I hate the City Watch.
You can hear the sound of clomping feet entering.
Nobody's
below.
home.
Does
Very
Weston
funny.
actually say that?
Sure, why not?
Hey, I'm the one who's supposed to have
Clearly,
a 7.
someone is home. If you're responding, come down with your arms up and weapons away, and we won't have to hurt you.
Should I
How
throw
about
the
you-
drugs at them?
How about if you come up here and help us out with the investigation?
No, we are the City Watch. You will do as we say, and you will come down here so that we can figure out whatever is going on here. Please.
Rue, this seems like a problem for you.
I think I'm gonna try to slip out the back door. You guys got this. You can handle it.
I'm pretty
You're
sure
not
I could
down.
take them. I'm pretty sure I could take them if you want to attack.
No. You definitely should not do that, Creighton. No.
Don't do anything foolish. We're
No, you don't do anything. We're the City Watch. You come down. You clearly don't understand how this works. You come down. You don't do anything foolish. We get to the bottom of this mess.
please
And
come
no.
up. I'm injured. I can barely walk. Please.
Okay, make me a deception check. Well, no, it's not really. Can you barely walk? Is the question. You are injured, but can you barely walk?
Owen
Please.
at this point will walk out into the hallway and down the stairs, still with his mage armor on.
All right. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to dispel any magic that may be in use at the moment. And you see this. Rue, would you like to describe? I believe his name was Henri?
Yes.
Henri?
Henri is a middle-aged human man. He's built like a fighter. He definitely has a sort of militaristic look to him. He has kind of short, dirty blonde hair, and he has blue-green eyes. And he's probably got like a clean-shaven look to him, and his uniform looks very tidy. He probably has a shield on his back and a sword on his hip. But he definitely just looks like a straight shooter.
So you see this man standing at the front of a group of other city guards. He is sort of a little bit more well-dressed than the others. His armor definitely fits him a lot better than some of the others. There is 2 others behind him, and you can hear the sounds of someone else around the back. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to dispel your magic and come down peacefully.
I'm glad you're here, officer. We actually need your help.
Good that you need Did you or did you not loudly break into this house approximately 30 minutes ago? Not 30, maybe like 20 minutes ago.
I don't know about loudly, but I should probably introduce myself. I am Owen Siskodal. I'm with the Night Watch. We are investigating some what turned out to be spectral activity.
You're with the night... You mean the Night Brigade, because you're certainly not part of the City Watch.
Yes, my mistake.
Do you have your insignia?
He'll rummage around in his components bag and eventually pull out this looks like a piece of leather with the emblem.
I think the emblem's like this owl, sort of with a stern gaze and look, sort of a stylized owl.
And he'll pull that out and go, I never have to use this. And he'll hand it to the guard or to the city watch.
It's called out to. You know, it's best practice to let the City Watch know before you're going into an area. I know at the Night Brigade that you're really loose with the laws and rules of our city, but we do try to be civilized here. You know, if you had put in with the local watch, you know, we wouldn't have to deal. Did you break down both back doors here?
Well,
it was needed.
I can't speak for myself personally, but we did notify the man sitting outside watching this place. Isn't that the same thing?
Old man Seza? He's not with the watch.
Is that his name? I didn't get it before he whacked me. His cane.
Okay. This is Night Watch. I assume your team is here investigating the recent disturbances.
You assume correctly.
And you said we could help you in some way.
Yes, we found a couple of bodies.
Oh, wonderful. You've found some bodies.
And
Fresh?
Couple of
As he
days.
nudges the one at the bottom of the stairs.
That one is probably the freshest one.
Doesn't look very fresh.
I didn't say it was fresh. Just that it's the newest one. Would you like to come upstairs and look?
Pinches his nose. All right, James, Audrey, you keep watch down here. You know, make sure no one else is leaving or entering the establishment. In fact, one of you let Gillian know to warn people away from this building if the Night Brigade is investigating something spectral, as our good man Owen here says. Perhaps it's best if people stay away from the immediate area. They sort of salute. Yes, sir. Go off to do it. And he sighs.
Oh, and he'll turn on his heel and just walk back up the stairs.
We'll follow you up.
While he's giving those orders.
Rue, hiding upstairs, goes, Creighton, did they leave yet? I can't hear anything from here.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Then you hear clomp, 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 clomp coming up the stairs.
Rue looks very nervous. She looks like she might even start to get sick soon.
There is a window on the second story.
Creighton, you can see her looking at the window. It looks like she's considering jumping out the window.
It's blinded, so you can't see.
Are you sure you don't want me to fight them?
Oh no, don't fight them. That's not a good idea.
Would you like to go into the next room for a moment, Rue?
Or you could hide behind the desk.
Or under the desk?
Good idea. She'll just like scamper over to the desk and hide underneath it.
Can you make me a stealth check, please?
It's gonna be awful, y'all.
That's not bad.
If need be, when she hides under desk, Vestin will like get where where
And
we would sit at the
where the
desk.
dead body is?
Oh no, never mind.
Because the dead body is sitting in the chair behind the
Okay.
desk. So where you would be able to crawl under the desk is like where the dead body is. The woman's dead body.
Vestin, can you move the dead body away from the desk?
Let me give it a whirl. His gloves are already on, and he tries to drag the face. Dragging the body the other way towards the door. I guess where they're gonna come in.
So the chair. So you'd have to drag it like around the desk and towards the door. If you wanted to do
Okay.
that.
So he's not giving it his whole effort because he's already saying, "Why don't you come up and help us?" So
Yeah. A moment later, Owen walks in, and then a moment after that, the man that Rue described earlier walks in. Rue, you can see the feet from like underneath because it's one of those desks that has like the covered backing. Like there's a little gap at the bottom where you can like see the light being blocked by feet. Mind you, no one has lit this room because you all have dark vision. And Henri comes in. It's a little dark in here.
I hadn't
Any of
noticed.
you-
I'm sorry.
And if you have a light,
And drops the body. Oh, welcome.
and
Hi.
you're disturbing a crime scene. If this wasn't your current jurisdiction, I would have a serious problem with that.
The crime scene disturbed us first.
Do I want to know?
Yes.
You missed the fun.
I don't think I want to get into. I don't think I want to get into any fun that involves the Night Brigade. Leave me to drunkards, and
How far away is he from Creighton?
he's maybe like 5 or 10 feet away from Creighton.
Okay, Creighton will be like, "We found these drugs. Take a sniff. Put the
Oh,
drugs
no.
over his face.
You make me
You know what these are?
Is it open? Do you have the bag open?
Yes, it's in my
Like-
hand.
So is the bag open? So when you shove it in his face, does like any of it come like flying out?
I don't know. Let's find out. What role would that be?
Roll me a D20.
I thought I was chaotic.
Oh my god. So nat 20. What do you want? With a nat 20, what do you want to happen?
Like smoothly, but just a small puff of smoke comes into his face.
Please tell me I'd already walked by.
Yeah, you'd walk by. This is in Henri's face. Hey, Henri has a pretty good constitution. Nope. Oh! What is that? What are you... What?
I don't know. I couldn't
What
tell when I sniffed it.
Are you all right?
Poison me?
What? No, I sniffed it and nothing happened.
And he starts like blinking heavily and looking around at you all. What is... Who are all of you? Who? Why are you here?
Well, I thought I explained that to you already. We're with the Night Brigade.
Demon! Foul demon! As he draws his sword.
Well,
All of you.
Owen still has his mage armor up, so
I know how to use my sword.
I'm sure you
Is he-
do, officer.
Has his shield out and his sword. And he's like, I don't understand your foul demonic language, but I will cut you all down where you stand. For my city, to protect my city, I will gladly give my life. Is he like, and what does Weston say?
There's no need to that.
Hey, Creighton, your armor class.
15.
He whips his sword around at you and gets a good score across like your arm as he does 7 points of slashing damage. I will God team, we've got demons in here.
Well, isn't that what I was just going to tell you?
Okay, he is clearly at this point hallucinating.
Yeah, Owen's just running with it. He knows it.
I mean, he's gonna keep attacking you all. Unless you would like to roll initiative and start doing something.
I don't have a way to
We
stop
should
him.
leave.
Rue's just like underneath the desk, like her arms around her knees, and she's just like squinting in the darkness. She's like, "What is going on out there?"
You will not leave unless it is over my dead body, demons.
Can Vestin just speak Celestial to him since he believes that Abyssal? I'm guessing.
You can try. Make me a
Okay.
persuasion check.
Okay.
16.
Sting.
Oh, no. No. I allowed him to roll a wisdom check to see if he could push through this, but that's a nat 1. And he has no bonus to his wisdom.
I blame you, Creighton.
He whips his sword
I blame
around
me too.
at, I think, Owen's the other closest person to him right now. It's an 18. He's rolling real well. Owen, does
Yeah,
19 hit
that's-
you with, yeah. He does 10 points of slashing damage to you. At this point, stomping feet have ran up into the room. If you guys would like to do anything against him right now, you have a moment before these guards burst in.
Oh, can I try and knock him down to the ground?
Okay. Yeah, are you trying to just trip him, or are you trying to, like, knock him out?
No, just trip him.
Trip him. Okay. Roll me... This would be a contested athletics. Or athletics for you. Athletics or acrobatics for him.
Okay. Did that roll? No.
He's going to be at disadvantage because he is high as...
Why aren't you rolling?
Maybe try... We're about to get, like, 20 rolls from you. Try refreshing roll 20.
Refreshing roll 20?
Yeah, try refreshing roll 20 real quick.
Okay. Oh, that's why I wasn't rolling.
Oh, was it?
I forgot I turned something off.
Ah.
It's fine.
I'm fairly certain that this will work, but 16. Yeah, you managed to like trip him up and he falls backwards. He's clearly out of it.
Can I use a bonus action to put my removable rod on his chest and set it?
Yeah, sure. Sure, you pin him down with it and click the button on the immovable rod and he's trying to I will you cannot hold me down, demon. Anyone else doing anything before these other guards burst in?
Owen will just put his hands up about at shoulder height.
Bestin, Rue.
Best is just like going, like kind of like just going like, if only there was someone that he knew among us to see if that would have an effect.
Did you see like Rue's head like peek over the edge of the desk? She's just like peeking right now.
You see sort of Creighton standing over a knockdown Henri who's struggling to get up. You think you see sort of something holding him down, but you're not quite sure what it is. And Owen's just got his hands up as two guards burst in. Owen, the ones you saw downstairs. And they look around, their swords are drawn, you know. They're holding it enough that they don't cut themselves. They don't look that intimidating. They don't really. Creighton, they look like they don't look like they really know how to use them very well. They look around. What is it, sir? What's happening? And they burst in and they look around at all of you. They see the bodies.
It's a good thing you came in. I think your officer is having a fit.
He's gone crazy, like the bodies did.
I wish I could make I suppose I could do this just to make the noise so that you all can hear when I'm rolling something. I roll something, and one of them looks down at their captain who says, "Yes, get them, get the demons." And they look at you all. They see the bodies at this point, and they're like, "Really?" One of them pukes. Actually, steps outside and pukes. The other one, what? It's a halfling, female seemingly. She says, "What's going on here? What do you all? I understand you're Night Brigade, but what happened to Captain Henri?"
Do I recognize any of the other two guards?
No, I don't think you do. I don't think so. They are. Yeah, no, you don't recognize.
He thinks we're demons.
I was just leading him up here, and suddenly he had a fit.
Did you do anything to him, Mr. Sezgadal?
No, I didn't.
Make me a persuasion check.
I mean, it's true. I didn't do anything to him.
That's why it's a persuasion as opposed to a deception. Six.
I am not very persuasive.
She looks at you all suspiciously. Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I actually just joined 3 weeks ago, and
How are you?
don't hurt
enjoying-
us, please. Don't hurt us, please. Whatever you did to the captain, please don't do it to us. We'll get out of your jurisdiction here. They were told us that the Night Brigade exists, sort of. That you're kind of official, I don't know what to do here. What do we do with the captain? He's acting weird.
I would suggest tie him up and placing him outside.
How am I gonna tie him up? He's gonna stab me with a sword. Even if he's pinned to the ground with some weird contraption.
Take all of the sharp things away from him.
I'm not getting near him.
Yes, we can
He's
take
gonna
his
stab-
sword.
Yes. Do what the talking desk suggested.
Well, Stella, you're looking over the edge so they can see your thing.
Yeah.
Then Halfling has dark vision. So. I don't know what's going on here. I am going to have to inform our superior about all of this, whatever it is. But if you would kindly either knock him out or tie him up or take away his sharp things, we'll escort him out of here.
Certainly. Creighton would be so kind to
Yes, I will disarm him. how
Don't
do I?
knock him out.
Okay. If you would like to disarm him, please make me an athletics check with advantage, because he is prone and high.
16.
Yeah, you're able to strip his sword and his shield away from him. I will get you, demon, if it's the last thing I do.
Creighton, he keeps a dagger in his right boot.
Okay, I get the dagger. I hand everything over to the halfling. It's like,
How do you know?
yes, his sharp stuff.
How do you know he keeps a dagger in his right? Am I supposed to keep a dagger in my right boot? Is that a City Watch thing? Is that sort of that something I'm supposed to be doing?
I
Rue
have
just
no
kind of
idea.
disappears again under the table.
Well, we're a strange lot.
I would recommend as many weapons as possible. It's always good.
How are you liking your time so far in the City Watch?
It's fine. It's a job. I'm still figuring it out. Why?
Don't get yourself killed.
Didn't realize the City Watch was that dangerous.
Oh, it's not dangerous. It's an adventure.
You may also want to call in some support to help
Yes.
deal with
Yes.
these bodies that we found.
Looks outside. Oh, he's gonna be useless.
And if
You
you,
know what?
wouldn't mind, please make a perimeter around the house because we'll be like looking through more stuff, and if we need help, especially if there are more baddies or specters, we'll be sure to call you so you can have another adventure. And
Or we'll just break the
I
door down.
yes,
will definitely set a perimeter. I will not be coming back in here because apparently coming in here makes you go crazy. In fact, I don't want to stay here any longer than I can. And she starts like, I don't know, are you tying up the captain? Are you tying up Henri or knocking him out or what? Although he's disarmed.
Rue said not to knock him out, right? So probably start tying him up.
I will make me another athletics check as he's trying to like fight you off with his arms now. At advantage because he's prone.
14.
Oh, he's going. He's just like pushing off of you. Just you won't take me alive, demon. Never, never.
Someone help me hold him down.
It's not really my best.
I'll give it a
Yeah.
go and everything. Why not? So Vesna will go and try to help hold him down.
Make me an athletics check again at advantage, Brayton.
Owen's just standing here observing, like, he's already pinned to the ground.
You do eventually manage to get him all trussed up, and the guard is just like, okay, I'm gonna take him outside. Hopefully someone else will know what to do with him. And she like grabs him by the rope on his arm and starts like dragging him out. Come on, you hear her say, to the one that's been outside.
Mind the vomit.
Too late.
The night air will do y'all both good, and also the is he your captain?
Yes, Captain Henri. Yes, the captain.
The captain. Yes, he'll be better. Just
I dearly hope so, for all of your sakes.
Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. It'll be wonderful. Enjoy. Maybe play a prank on him or two. It'll be fine. He won't remember probably. Maybe I don't know.
Want to make me a persuasion check?
Sure.
The city guard is going to hate us. Oh, wait, they already do.
11. Wait, is that 11?
Yeah, that's an 11.
Okay.
Is that like a thing we do? Is that like a ritual? Is that like something? I'll try to think of something. And then she's like dragging him out, and you hear a thump, 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 thump. And then he goes silent after a moment.
I would suggest we move to either another part of this house or outside.
Yes.
He was acting real weird there. Drugs didn't do anything to me, so maybe he's just weak.
That he got a lot more of it than you did.
From what I saw, he took a bigger whiff than you.
Rue, where are you?
Rue's just hiding her face. She's like, oh, gods. Did I really have to go through all of this today? Why today?
Well, he's gone, and I don't think he saw you.
And
She'll,
if he
like,
did, he won't
slowly get up.
remember.
I think he was far too interested in the demon, so that he saw, or demons being us. So yeah.
I hope he doesn't mutate.
What?
Well, I just had a strange idea. As I said before, the mutation that the gentleman on the floor was experiencing was demonic in nature, and he said he could see demons after sniffing that strange powder that my friend here has. I hope they're not interrelated.
Oh no. Did I turn him into a werewolf?
Or a were-demon.
Rue looks panicked. She's like, what? What?
Hold on for just a moment. Vestal will call downstairs. Take him to the clerics.
Will do. Thump,
There
thump,
you go.
thump.
Should be good.
Yeah, and you're left alone in this room for seemingly the moment. What's the plan?
Downstairs and out through the back door.
Mm-hmm. To the greenhouse we go, I guess. Also, Owen, do you mind taking a look at this by chance? I can't really see very well of my chest. Do you mind?
That looks bad. I'm not a cleric or a healer of any sort, but it looks gross. Kind of cool, but gross.
Make me an Arcana check, Owen. Since you are the resident necrotic. 17. So basically, you get the understanding, and this is with this, you sort of understand that most likely what the thief died of downstairs was being completely drained of his life force, and that has most likely happened a bit to Vestin. Now, he hasn't been outright killed by it because he's still standing, but he should either go see a powerful cleric who can do a greater restoration spell on him, or get a good night's rest.
Well, given that that wound is similar to the thieves downstairs, I think you have two options. Either find a powerful cleric or get some sleep. Of the 8-hour variety.
8 hours? Awesome. Well, as long as it's like nothing too serious and everything, and as long as I don't grow a funny hand type of thing like that over there. So yeah, should we go look at the greenhouse and the grounds?
Yes, let's.
See the herbs.
Did the halfling and Creighton leave the ornery stuff on the ground in here? Or they take it with them?
I think Creighton... the halfling would have asked for his sword and shield because it is City Watch property. It is city... So they would have taken it with them.
Okay. Yes, let's go to the greenhouse.
You all stomp downstairs and past the desiccated body of the thief and back towards the broken back door that Creighton smashed on his way in, out to the grounds. And as you all step outside, you can see a curious dwarven face peeking around the gate door that Creighton also smashed down. And when he sees you come out, he's like stands and straightens up and goes back behind the door. He looked like he was wearing city guard attire as well.
Oh, hello there. How's it going tonight?
I have been told not to speak to you because it might drive me crazy.
Well, yes. Though not... Never mind.
But you just spoke to us. Do you feel mad yet?
Oh God. I mean, I'm feeling a little warm right now, and just like, can I feel? Is my heart? What did you do to me? What did you do to me?
I am not that type of magic user. Try sitting down and having something to drink.
Sitting down and having some. Yes. Not talking
Yeah.
to you. Not talking to you. Not talking to
May
them.
the blessings of Saint Ulysses guide your night.
Wait, do you walk over and touch him?
With the forehead. Boop.
Can you make me Can you just make me a athletics check to see if because he's gonna try and dodge.
Oh my goodness. Well,
You boop him. He's like ah. Don't touch me. I don't want to go crazy. And he backs off across the alley, like not across the alley, but across the street from you all. And he sits against the wall, sits down, and takes out like a little water skin, starts drinking and breathe normally, breathe normally, breathe normally. Oh God, don't go crazy, don't go crazy, don't go crazy. And you're out in the garden now at this point, and you look around, and there is, sort of a, it's a small little backyard to this house. There's a little patch that is sort of, it's a garden. It's got rows of various plants sown in there, and they've grown a little bit. There's the greenhouse in the far right corner, and then there is a sort of a dilapidated looking shack against the far, like, because the far wall of this backyard is just the wall of the houses behind it. There are no windows built into it, but the shack is sort of built and into this wall, against this wall, and off to the left. And other than that, there's a few trees and some nice landscape lawn.
Oh, someone flip a coin. Greenhouse or shack?
I can search the shack while you go to the greenhouse.
What do you think, Rue?
I think, yes. Let's go in pairs. I will go with Creighton. And if you hear a whistle, it means danger.
So do I run toward it or away from it?
Wait,
and what kind of whistle this time? So that way we know, like.
so I was right to break down the door?
No. Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, forget about the whistle. No whistling.
Got it. Well, listen, I suppose we should go check out the greenhouse.
Yes, let's.
All right. So Vestin and Owen are heading off towards the greenhouse. Creighton and Rue heading over towards the shack. Let us. I just read your shirt, V, and it's very appropriate. And it's great. So let's follow Vestin and Owen into the greenhouse. Greenhouse door is locked. It appears to be padlocked. You can sort of see through it, but it's frosted glass, so it's a little bit distorted. Not frosted. It's just got sort of like, it's a little bit warped, so it's a little hard to see through. You can see like distorted images through it, but you can't. You can see what looks like things growing in it, most likely, but that's as clear of a picture as you get from the outside.
I'm not much for picking locks.
Neither am I. We could always maybe blast block.
Do you have an easy to repeatedly use spell that you can do that with?
Of course. Let's give it a whirl.
You do have firebolt.
I'm sorry?
You do have firebolt.
Okay. I'll do a firebolt then.
Because your cantrips you can use all day. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they don't have a limit.
Oh, okay.
So roll me a ranged attack, a spell attack, so a 1d20 plus 5 for you.
Okay. I can get used to this. Plus 5.
23. Okay. So just like precision, just you hit just the lock and only the lock with it. As the firebolt superheats the metal and then snaps it off. There's a bit of a clang as it snaps off, but nothing too concerning.
Good work.
Oh,
After
thank you. After you. I guess.
Oh. All right then. Owen will walk in, open the door and walk in.
All right, you walk in, and inside you find several rows of potted plants sitting on tables, sort of across, sort of some of them around the edge, and then 2 rows of tables inside going across. There is sort of piping running above them. And yeah, that's what you see.
I am not sure what we're looking for. I am not usually the live type. I guess I would ask, do I see anything that stands out as not belonging? Or let's go with that.
Are you doing this slowly, or are you doing? Is this first a cursory glance that you're doing that stands out?
Just starting with a cursory glance.
Right, roll me a perception check. 5.
Nope.
No, I mean you've never. What you do know is that you don't like these aren't. You can tell that these aren't plants you find around the area. They're not like immediately native to the city. They're certainly not something you would find around the city. There's some like compost, it seems, underneath one of the tables. You know, some gardening tools and whatnot. But that's about all you're getting from a cursory glance.
Okay.
Can Veston just kind of study the pipes type of thing, the irrigation?
Yeah.
The irrigation system and everything?
Yeah. Make me an Arcana check, please.
Arcana? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
12.
12. That's enough to know that there is there are little hoses, not hoses, sorry, little holes along it. But you are also able to gather that it's a simple contraption you've probably seen before, in that it draws water from a source and sort of magically pumps it through the pipes and, waters the plants by itself. But it's something you've probably seen before. There's certainly, if you've ever been up into the Temple District and the garden areas up in the Upper District, plenty of people use them up there.
Veston will relay it to Owen, saying that's really neat.
Doesn't seem all that out of place in a greenhouse.
Not entirely. Would this be normal for every greenhouse, or just particularly that type of greenhouse? Or
you would know that you'd either have to have magical powers yourself to be able to do the enchantment. You have to have the understanding of how to make the enchantment, and it would take time and money, as well as sort of the ingenuity to build the piping system. Or you would have to have a lot of money to have, say, someone from the Arcanum do it for you. And so you'd either have to have a lot of money or magical know-how yourself.
Okay.
Anything else you're all looking at in particular in this greenhouse right now?
And I guess Vested would make try to do a close inspection of like the different herbs to see if anything looks familiar.
Yeah, make me a nature check, please.
Okay.
18. 18. Okay, so you don't recognize everything in here, but you recognize a couple of them. You've come across them in working with the temple, because many of these herbs go into potions of sort. These are things that one would use to help brew magical, like healing potions and potions to combat disease and whatnot. Most of them not native to the area, which makes them a very pricey commodity. But yeah, for all the ones you recognize, that is their intended purpose.
Okay. Vestin would relay both of that to Owen, especially the thoughts on the person here is either a magic user or indeed just wealthy and could afford the. And that's really expounded by all the herbs there because they're pricey. So I'm guessing that out of character that whoever could sell these and make a pretty good bit of coin as well. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Anything else you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah, neither am I.
We'll come back to you in a moment then if you think of anything else before you head out. Let's go over to Creighton and Rue. You head up towards the dilapidated shack. It's maybe about leans out maybe about 8 or 9 feet off of the wall. Single story, like slanted shack roof. Pretty crummy construction. There is windows with sort of just heavy drapes in front of them that are currently blocking the window. But it's just an open hole with a drape in front of it.
I think as we're walking, Creighton's gonna be like, "So, Rue, why did you not want to see the city watch?"
I have a history with that particular man. You can see she's bright red again. She's completely embarrassed and flustered.
I see. Well, if you want me to fight him, just tell me.
No. You shouldn't fight him. But I do appreciate it. It's very
Yes.
sweet.
He did get a good swing off me.
He's a very talented swordsman.
Yes.
Are you going to be okay?
With what?
And she just kind of like points to your wound.
Oh. Those happen all the time.
Well, I think I have some bandages. If you need bandages, just let me know.
In the air, they can't smell the blood so much.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What do you guys do with the shack?
Rue will she's like looking at him, talking to him, and then she just turns. She's like, "So the shack. There's no glass on the window.
Is it locked or like there's
There's a door as well.
Okay. Creighton's just gonna open the door then.
Door opens outwards. Dark inside, for the most part, although sunlight is now streaming in through the door. And
We do have dark vision too.
you have dark vision too. All of you have dark vision. How convenient. You head inside, and I think probably the first thing you notice is most obviously on the ground. There is a dark red circle drawn on the ground. You both step in.
I mean, intelligence 7. I see the circle, right?
Mhm.
Does it look ominous or anything? What I think it was ominous looking.
Make me either a wisdom or an intelligence check, because this could be like instinct or intelligence.
I mean, if it's something I've seen before, I can go with wisdom.
Yeah, I would go with wisdom here.
16.
Blood circles are generally bad. Generally, just generally bad news. Like, you're pretty sure it's blood, unless it's red paint, but you get this sort of the iron smell in the air. Pretty sure it's blood.
I smell blood magic.
Oh, that's not paint.
No. It's probably dangerous.
Oh,
And as you look around inside, it's a very simple, like 8 by 10 room, maybe. There's like a very disorganized cot in one corner, very small, slim, one-person cot. There is a desk with several burnt down candle wicks sort of melted onto its surface, scattered papers. There's a place where you could do some basic meal preparation, maybe. There's a bucket near this meal preparation area, this table, with some chicken feet sticking out of it.
does the circle encompass the whole floor, or can you like walk around it?
You can walk around it. It's sort of in the center area of it.
Do you know about magic, Rue?
I only know one spell.
Maybe we should tell the others. They seem to be good with that magic.
That's a good idea. I feel like I'm very out of my depth here today.
Yes. There's one thing I do know, it's not to mess with magic.
That's a very good. She pulls out her notebook. She starts writing it down. That's a good one. Yeah.
Hey, Rue, can you just roll me an intelligence check or wisdom?
Okay.
Real quick, just or the other. 21. Rue writes this down as she remembers that she works for an organization whose entire job description is to mess with supernatural and arcane things.
She kind of like, she's writing down. She pauses for a second. She's just staring at the paper, reading what she just wrote, and she's like, Creighton,
Yes.
how did you find this job?
Out of necessity.
Did you have to take a test or something?
I think I punched someone and he fell down.
Oh. Continues writing. Closes it. Okay. Well, you know what, Creighton? We can handle this. Come on. She kind of steps in.
Okay, so you're
Into
not
the
going to get
Into the circle?
No, into the shack. No, not into the circle. No.
Okay.
Okay, so you step inside and sort of this is what you see. What's your plan? What are you doing?
She'll start looking over like the tables and stuff and just look at the things, touch them, avoiding the circle.
Craig's gonna look under the pillows and under the beds for drugs and stuff.
One of you can make an investigation check at advantage, or you both can make separate non-advantage checks.
How about not me?
How about you help me?
Okay, Rue, would you like to make me an investigation at 17? 17. So, you look around and, you look at the desk where there are scattered notes, and you look at one of them, and it's written in common, and it seems to have been hastily written. And it says, to whoever may find this, I am going to end this tonight. I'm sorry you ever find my son, Joras. Please tell him that I have failed him. And then there are a few other notes that depict this circle and instructions for summoning something.
Is the letter signed? Is there a name at the bottom or anything?
There is a name at the bottom. It says Shosvor Trintinia. I can type that out for you in chat here. And I imagine you probably say something out loud to Creighton, but you continue investigating the rest of the thing, and there's eventually a point where you step around something and you hear a hollow sound beneath your foot. There are boards sort of across this.
Rue has her notebook out and she's taking notes as she's looking over things, making like a catalog of what she's finding. She kind of stops as she almost like falls a little. She puts it away and kind of bends down. Creighton, help me. There's a loose floorboard here. There might be something underneath.
Yes. You want me to take out the board?
Yeah. I have a sense that you're probably stronger than I am.
And to take out the board?
Okay.
Is it like loose or?
It's loose. You can tell. You think that there's a little resistance to it, but it's like these boards aren't like well made. They're not like flat and lined up against each other. You're able to like really like kind of grip around the side, and you can feel sort of the emptiness beneath this part of the board. But you're able to rip it up. I'm gonna say with your strength. Like this isn't even something you have to roll for. You're able to rip it up and sort of rip the nail, which wasn't completely set into the ground, into where it was sort of nailed into the beam, like a support beam beneath. But you rip it up, and there is another journal in here, as well as another signet ring and several papers.
More books and jewelry. Did you want the book, Rue?
Yes. What does it say?
I can't read.
Anything. You cannot read anything.
Well, enough to say someone's name. And numbers. I know how much someone's worth.
Oh, numbers are important.
Yes.
I'll take the book. Yes. She'll flip it open and start reading.
All right, you start reading, and you're quickly glancing through it, and it is also coded. This one's different, though. This one uses symbols, and you recognize the symbols as thieves' camp. And you're able to sort of it takes a little bit longer to read because thieves' camp is less of a direct language and more symbols indicating certain things. But essentially, what it gets at is that Shosfor was a spy of sorts, and that he had been tasked with spying upon one lady, Gizola, think I have the last name somewhere. Gizola Jandrad. And for suspicions of ties to the Scarlet Brotherhood. And then it goes on to state that he has been intercepting notes and letters and attempting to decipher them. And then you find a page where a mostly complete key to some sort of code is written down. It's like A equals such and such letter and whatnot. Not all of it is filled in, maybe about 2/3 of it. He states that she is suspected of, she is Sulis, who the Scarlet Brotherhood is mostly made up of, and that she is suspected of basically importing, like she runs a front as a botanicals, herbal, like medicinal herbs import company, but is also suspected of bringing in more dangerous things such as narcotics and poisons, whatnot. And then it becomes a little more frantic, as he states that he apparently has been made and that his son was taken hostage. And that the Scarlet Brotherhood, in order to keep his son alive, wanted him to become a double agent.
This probably takes a while. So Rue just kind of sits down, and you just see her like staring really intently at the book, and she's very focused and quiet. But she's taking this long time to decode.
Oh, and Investin, if you decide not to do anything else and would like to go check on the others, you would probably arrive before she finishes.
Yeah, I'd go rejoin the group.
Sure.
All right. You both see Creighton standing, looking, defluffing the pillows. Creighton, you managed to find like in the mattress of this thing, like it's not really a mattress, it's just kind of a sack stuffed with straw. But you sort of feel around and you find a little pouch of money. Oh, 10 gold and, we'll say 15 silver and some copper. And a dagger. A well-made dagger. As well as some steel wire. Creighton, you can make me we'll call it a wisdom check, survival. We'll call it survival. $21. So, steel wire, various uses. Good for setting traps. Good for running traps. Also good for garroting someone. Should the need arise.
So like,
very versatile.
This person either set the traps or killed somebody.
And as you step in, as you hear Creighton say this, and you see the blood circle on the ground. Vestin, you enter a moment later.
Did we find something else besides that very disturbing looking circle on the floor?
No more drugs, no.
That is probably a good thing. All we found was an expensive irrigation system and a bunch of plants I don't recognize.
Oh, Rue has a book and papers.
Rue's just like reading. She's not even looking up. She's just, her tongue sticking out, really focusing.
Owen will look over her shoulder and try and get a glimpse of what she's reading.
Does Owen recognize Thieves' Cant?
No.
So it's all gibberish to Owen.
I can maybe help you read that if you want the help.
Oh, Owen. Look here. So I think what this is saying is, and then she'll basically reiterate everything that you told me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently you don't need help reading it. Good.
Do either you two know magic?
Owen is standing there with his green mage armor still active. Just stares at him with a blank face.
He's gonna wait for an answer.
From Vestin.
A little bit. I dabble.
Oh, good. Do you know what the circle's for?
Would I know?
You can both make me Arcana checks.
Okay.
Vestin, you can have advantage on this because of your training in the temple.
Okay.
21, 19 and 21. So, you're both sort of familiar with the idea around. You've both at least come across it, especially Vestin. You've definitely studied about it as a acolyte of the Temple of St. Cuthbert. This is definitely some sort of... Now, Vestin, you know for sure that this is a demon summoning circle. To be differentiated from a devilish summoning circle. Very different rituals. Very different groups who don't like each other. So you know that this was apparently an attempt to summon a demon. Given that there doesn't appear to be a demon raging around anywhere, depending on the level of the demon that they summoned, the circle seems to have done a good enough job to contain the demon long enough to have made a deal with it. Owen, you're able at this point to sort of connect the dots that perhaps this whoever summoned this demon made a deal with them that gave them whatever that demonic arm upstairs was.
Well, that explains some of what we've seen. If it's, I presume, Vestin will have relayed the information that he knew.
Vestin would.
No one would go on about connecting the dots.
And can Owen make... Oh, go ahead, Vestin.
Would Vestin know about if it's okay to like get inside the circle, or is it?
Yeah, you would know that at this point the circle has been spent. That it is no longer active. It's just its only real purpose is to contain a demon while it is summoned. And once the demon is gone, you don't have to worry about anything.
Okay. Vestin would like to go inside the circle to see if he could collect anything, to see if there's any like residue or anything like left behind by the demon.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, make me an investigation check.
Okay.
And Owen, can you make me another Arcana check with advantage or something else?
18.
18 on the investigation. There is a bit of residue left. It is it's sort of dried out at this point, but almost a slime-esque left behind bit of residue. It's mostly dried out, a little bit hardened a little bit, but you can pry it off the wood and perhaps drop it in.
Okay. He'll slide into a vial, or like scrape it with like a little knife and put it into a vial, and then put it into his bag. This might come in handy for later on.
Owen, with a 24, Owen has started connecting the dots a little bit. Given your familiarity with the undead and now the knowledge you've gained from Vestin and the others about demons being involved in this. You're pretty sure you have a wraith problem at this point, given that there are specters running around, and that wraiths are commonly known for raising specters from those they've recently killed. And the reason you're fairly certain that you have a wraith problem is that the person who most likely summoned this demon is now dead. Rue has indicated a very dark time for this person. They were clearly being blackmailed. They were doing things they didn't want to do, and they were, sort of tortured by this. They then made a deal with a demon, apparently, which had already damned their soul to whatever abyssal scape that this demon came from. And then they died very recently. And those are circumstances that you think could very, very readily lead to a... And wraiths best come out at night.
Well, based on everything we've learned so far, I am reasonably certain we have a wraith on our hands. The fact that clearly someone summoned a demon and made a deal, and then promptly died, has brought forth this wraith, which is what is capable of summoning the specters we've seen, and they generally come out at night. Out of character, would I know where a wraith would hang out, or where to look for one?
With a 24, so wraiths, they are sort of twisted souls. They are twisted souls filled with hatred and vitriol for anything living. So they will, when they haunt, they don't really haunt places. They go out and they hunt. But they would have an attachment to a place that they perhaps died. They usually habit places. So your best guess, it'd probably show up here. It'd start here at night.
I think we may want to be within visual distance of this, at the very least the home, if not the shack itself, when night comes, if we wish to deal with this thing.
So perhaps reinforcements?
That probably wouldn't be a bad idea if we can arrange it. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure who within our organization would be able to assist with this.
Hold on for just a moment. Vesta will go and poke his head out to see if he could see the dwarf.
Yeah.
I would like to cast the cantrip of message.
Okay.
I believe it's this.
Uh-huh.
If he's 120 feet away.
Yeah, you're close enough. You're maybe about 100 feet, maybe.
Beston points at the dwarf, and, cast it, and whispers the message of "Go get help. We need reinforcements."
Demons! Demons are speaking to me! They're in my head! I'm going crazy like the captain. I need help! And he runs off. And I think, as you all prepare to get reinforcements to fight this wraith, this dwarf guard city watch going off thinking that they have been messaged by demons. That's where we're going to end today's session.
Fantastic. We're making lots of friends.
I didn't expect you to drug the guard captain.
I'm not that smart.
That was, I thoroughly enjoyed.
One would think that the city guards would be kind of like trained of, hey, just in case, you know.
And Rue got, like, based on what she said, some of you got the sense that some of these are pretty greenhorned City Watch, and that you drugged the only competent one in the group.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
Both Rue and I were not ready to meet Henri. I'm just gonna say that.
Isn't it great when, like, I can, like, keep all your NPCs contained in an area where there's a good chance of you meeting them at any point in the day? Ah, it's
gosh.
great, isn't it? So, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all had a lot of fun as well. Why don't we go around the cast once again? Let us know, if there's where we can find you, what else you're doing this week. Yeah, let's start with Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I'm at GM or PC on Twitter. I generally can be found on Twitter. I don't stream, so what I usually do on the weekends involves play TTP RPGs with friends online or in person. So that's probably what I'll be doing this weekend.
Fun. Always tabletop RPGs are A1. Moving on, let's go over to Stella.
Hello, friends. I am Stella Luna here on Twitch. I am Stella Luna _TV on Twitter. I'm a variety streamer. I do things of the artsy fartsy kind on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm over on Runaway Robots channel, and we do Cypress, and we also do Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And on Fridays and Saturdays, I do D&D at my own channel. We do sci-fi dark matter D&D on Fridays, and Saturdays we do Pokemon D&D.
Fun. Let's go on over. V.
Oh, hello, I'm V Fergie, and you can find me on everything V Fergie, social media here on Twitch. I do a variety of streams where currently I'm playing Ancestors, the Human Odyssey. I started on it today, and also I started on the Blair Witch game too. I didn't get very far into either of those. They both kind of kicked my butt. And then on Saturday, I'm trying to get back to a more normal-ish consistent streaming schedule. Then on Saturdays, you can find me on Ready Play Go playing Shadowrun of Neon Static Skies at 4 p.m., where I play a lovely but kind of crazy Decker named Clutch Bunny. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wild.
Yes, hi. I'm Wild Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me here, playing my awesome 7 Intelligence Barbarian on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, I'm on Welcome to the Party for some Masks Hack. That's kind of like a Power Ranger Super Sentai version. And on Friday, late night, I am GMing my own game on Welcome to the Party of Masks New Generation with some very disturbed teens. And on Saturday, you can catch me on Other channel playing some Invisible Sun. Yeah.
Cool. And I am, of course, Imperator Pengu on the Twitter sphere, Penguin on the Twitch sphere, because Twitter has character limitations. Yeah, I do tabletop RPG stuff. Pretty chill right now. Mostly I've just got on Monday evenings, I'm over on Tales from the Grim, playing Bad Moon Rising, an Urban Shadows campaign, where my character has just about had it with everything. He trusts no one and nothing. Other than that, I sometimes do some tabletop stuff on my channel. I will be streaming some video games tomorrow. I'll actually be playing. I'll be starting a new character on Fallout 76 to mess around with one of my friends who hasn't played yet. So that should be a riot. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter. I announce when I'm going to be doing everything at least an hour before, if not a day before. And yeah, as we sort of draw this session, and of course we'll be back here next Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, for what is to be a Wraith showdown. Before we sort of draw this session to an end, as always, we'd like to thank our Patreon and Twitch subscribers for keeping this channel alive. Thank you for all our viewers for just being here with us, and this is why one of the reasons we like to play, to share our stories with you all. With that, let's find someone to raid. I think Scraticus is streaming right now over at the Scraticus Academy. So why don't we raid them and let's raid them, and I don't know what our raid cry should be. We found the drugs. Don't get guard captains high.
Demons.
Demon.
Demons?
Demons.
Demons. All right, we're going to worry all of them by yelling demons. Demons.
At random times.
All right.
Or don't talk to us; you'll drive us crazy or something. I don't know.
Demons. But yeah, as I always like to end my streams with, I hope everyone has a good week. I hope you are, able to do what you want to do, and I just ask that everyone be kind, because the world really needs it. Have a good week. Bye.